What up, and welcome back to the Cracking Cans podcast. The podcast we talk all things cryptid, all things urban legends, and all things just a little bit spooky. I'm Mike, joined here by Corey, who's going to be...
With an E.
With an E.
I got to throw that in there.
You got to throw it in there. Yeah, and if you're tuning in, you're just like, hey, this seems like a cool podcast. I want an information-heavy podcast. I want them talking at me, telling me all kinds of stuff I didn't know. Probably keep on scrolling.
Yeah.
You got two idiots here that are just going to be...
If you want to know about places that are pronounced the wrong way...
You found the right people?
You found the right place, baby.
So today we're going south. Going way down south. Is this like primarily Florida?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going down to Florida. Have we been to Florida yet?
I've been to Florida.
I mean on the cast.
Oh, yeah, on the cast.
I've been there.
Been there a couple times.
I went there to a Mariners game one day. It was freaking awesome.
No, I don't. Have we been to Florida? No, I don't think so.
No, Florida, no. We should get a map and start marking everything off of what we do.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be dank.
That could be your project.
Yeah. I feel like I've had like a project that I've already just never completed. The Friends of the Cast board. I mean, I did it at my house.
Yeah.
So I have it for like my remote location when I get to work from home.
Yeah, I do like the Friends of the Castle. That is a nice idea.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how I want to do it. And we already got so much shit up here behind where we sit anyways. Kind of makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah, we can make it work.
But anyways, what are we drinking?
We're drinking another Rusty Rail Brewing Company beer today.
Rusty Rail.
This is called Dank Monster, which is a dank IPA, which I don't think I've ever had a dank IPA.
Hey, I got to look it up. Is dank IPA just like them kind of just, this is just an awesome IPA or
is that actually like an IPA?
It describes a specific aroma or flavor profiles in IPAs. Earthy, pungent qualities.
I think it's like, I've been drinking some of it here. I think it has more of like a bitter taste to it.
Often linked to the smell of cannabis.
Yep.
Which you did comment on earlier.
I did.
Because, what was it, a couple episodes ago we had the...
that was just a guess, folks.
Yeah, on the Dolls episode we drank that one that was just...
I don't know what it smells like or tastes like. That's just a guess.
Yeah, well, of course. Of course not. Anywho.
This bad boy right here is a 6.8%. Like I said, dank IPA, which is my first.
6.8%?
Oh, yeah.
Holy. That's about average.
Yeah.
What is our average looking like now?
I don't know. I haven't updated it in a while.
All right.
Slacking.
I'll look it up.
The reason I picked this beer is because when it comes to the skunk ape, dank says it all. This elusive, foul-smelling cryptid is said to roam the muggy, overgrown swamps of Florida territory. That's as dank as it gets. Humid, musty, and thick with the scent of decay and wild earth. Witnesses don't just see the skunk ape, they smell it first.
I've had people actually tell me that when I leave them, they typically remember how I smell. Not.
Which isn't good.
No, it's usually not.
Yeah.
It's usually quite pungent.
Yeah. You leave out them dank, wet farts.
Yeah, I should be good today.
Yeah.
I dropped a good one before I left my house, so we should be good for today.
Well, we got the bowel movement update.
Yeah.
That wet, skunky stench rising from the sawgrass and cypress is part of the legend, woven into the landscape itself. The word dank perfectly captures both the swampy environment and the mysterious creature said to lurk within it.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
gosh, he's got hold of this.
Well, no, I like telling the people what the can looks like.
It's approximately a 16-ounce can, aluminum.
If you look at the picture on the can, there is a nature type, and I don't know what you want to say kind of monster this is, but it looks like something out of the swamps. It's got like some moss and stuff on it and some just dank ass, muggy, musty, I don't know.
Oh.
But like when we're talking about the skunk ape, like this is some of the shit that I imagine the skunk ape's fur kind of looks like. Just it has a dark brown reddish tint kind of to it that we'll go over when we talk about this mother effer.
This mother effer. You done twirling the can?
Yeah, you got anything about the... Well, I guess we'll...
Nope, I don't.
All
right.
Cheers.
I like how easy you go, because Corey's got a new glass. Usually he's got these big, thick glasses.
This is my
he about knocks it out of my hands, but today it's like... Ew. You know what that glass reminds me of?
A wine glass?
No, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Cool.
So, but yeah, this beer's good, though.
Yeah, I like it. It's a little bitter on the palate.
It's a little bitter, and I feel like the bitter really lingers.
It does.
Like I got it on my tongue.
I have it you have it in the front of the tongue or the back of the tongue?
Back of the tongue.
Yeah, I got it in the back of the tongue too.
Yeah.
It's just like working its way.
Hold on a second. You got it in front or back?
Yeah, because it's working its way down to my throat right now.
Yeah, I got it the way I wipe. Back to front.
Ooh.
That's right.
I go front to back.
No way, back to front. I go top to bottom.
Oh.
Yeah. Bring the cheese right down to the balls.
God, people know way too much about our assholes and stuff.
They do. That's
Whatever.
okay.
They like it.
But with that, are you ready to dive into the swamps of Florida?
Let's go. Sources today. Got a couple. First one is from allthat'sinteresting.com.
That just made me think of All That when we were kids.
Yeah.
All that. Dude, that kind of, the rap in that slaps a little bit. That's a good rap.
Yeah.
The beginning, All That. I can't remember any of it, but.
I know it was pretty solid.
Was it Coolio?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm not going to pretend.
I could be like way off.
Yeah.
I feel like I got to, you going.
So, allthat'sinteresting.com titled Untangling the Truth About the Skunk Ape, the Bigfoot of Florida Swamps, written by Mark Oliver. And the other one I got is from Countier.com titled Florida's Bigfoot, the Legend of the Skunk Ape, written by Ben Saucier.
Ooh, he sounds saucy. I bet that's going to be a spicy article he's got there.
It is a little spicy.
Oh.
All right, let's get into this bad boy. As part of our Bigfoot.
It's like a series, but it's not.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. We're just going to talk about him a bunch this summer.
Yeah. A part of our Bigfoot talk.
Leading up to, remember, I know we've talked about this in other episodes. If you're from the central Pennsylvania area, we're going to be at the Cryptid and, well, I guess the Bigfoot and Cryptid Festival, August 8th.
I want to say it's the 9th.
Dude, I get this wrong every time. I'll be there the 8th. You be there the 9th, and hopefully one of us. But yeah, we're going to be at the festival. We'll have a stand set up, a little bit of merchandise, maybe some fun games, and stickers and stuff like that. So you want to come here?
We plan on doing some lives, too, just like some short Facebook lives, just to let the people know what's going on at the old festival.
Yeah, we're super excited. TP Aaron from the Snallygaster episode is going to be there, so that's going to be fun. You can meet the man, the myth, the legend. That he is.
And he'll be signing autographs too.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
On a roll of toilet paper.
Well, rightfully so. Or 2 pieces of paper, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, you pick.
Front and back, though.
Back to front.
Yeah, back to front. Top to bottom, baby. Anywho.
All right. Before we dig too far into this topic, I thought we needed to give our boy a proper professional wrestling style introduction.
Ooh, let's do it.
Now making his way to the cast. From the swamplands of Florida, standing at 7 feet tall, weighing 500 pounds, the Skunk Ape.
Skunk Ape, Skunk Ape, Skunk Ape, Skunk Ape. 500-pounder.
Yeah.
Yowzers. August 9th.
Yes.
Yep.
One Corey.
Yeah. Oh, I was not doubting you on that one. I cannot get that date right.
I don't know how I get it right every time.
I think I always say the 8th.
Yeah, the one day you went like every date around the 9th.
Yeah, I think I said the 7th, 8th, or 10th. So bad.
Yeah. The skunk ape is a variant of Bigfoot, some say cousin, found in Florida swamps.
So when they say cousin, of a Bigfoot. It's just a Bigfoot then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it always kind of bothered me. I guess it'd be like if you saw an elk and it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a cousin of a deer. Well, yeah, I mean, sure they are.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily describe them as cousins.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that term's just thrown around loosely just to like say that something is similar to something else.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, like
something,
it's
you know
like
what I mean?
a bipedal ape-like creature.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I also saw there's some debate on like some people. There's debate whether a lot of the dogmen sightings are actually Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, which I think actually Beans on the Alasquatch talked about that. We had him a couple episodes back. He does like a full episode and a pretty decent breakdown of it.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from the episode with him.
Yeah.
Now, compared to the old Sasquatch over there in the Pacific Northwest, the skunk ape is depicted as being a little bit smaller in size. Because typically, when you hear about Sasquatch, it's like 10 feet tall, whereas this boy's 7 feet tall, roughly.
That's like that 7 foot. That's like the cryptid
Yeah.
tone. I don't know. That's what it's got to be. 7 foot. Cryptids are 7 foot.
Yeah. And instead of your typical brown or dark brown-haired Bigfoot, the skunk ape has reddish-brown fur. And one of the main attributes that set the skunk ape apart from Bigfoot is the smell that he emits from the creature. It's said to be a strong odor that is a mixture between a wet dog and a skunk. Some say that they get a methane or like sulfuric smell as well. I've also seen like just like a rotting, just nasty ass, just stinky smell.
We'll just call it like a Corey-esque smell.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I
People
like
will know what that means.
it. Yeah. The skunk apes are said to be peaceful. I mean, I've seen, so research into skunk ape, I saw it kind of both ways, where it's like a peaceful kind of creature that roams in packs with other skunk apes. But I also saw that that they were an aggressive creature as well. So if anybody out there has had any experiences with the skunk ape, I want to know if he's a hugger or a fighter.
What are you?
Probably hugger.
Yeah, I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like when you see me, you wouldn't guess that I was a hugger.
No.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, I thought for sure you were going to be like, no, definitely look like a hugger with your pedophile mustache and stuff. That's what I figured you were going to say. So I'm happy that it was just a simple no.
Caught you off guard.
Yeah. It's like, okay, thanks. Thanks, friend.
So they're typically found in the Florida Everglades, but they've also been known to venture into other parts of Florida, such as the Keys, as well as even some other surrounding states. However, the Florida Everglades is the primary spot for these fellas.
And I think so the Everglades, they're like further down in Florida,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yeah. Now, Mike, I got a question for you.
Okay.
How many acres do you think make up the Florida Everglades?
Oh, dude, it's freaking big. 25 million.
Ooh, okay. I mean, you shot the gun.
Yeah, I did.
But
Sorry.
it's all right.
I know it's really big.
It is. It's 2 million acres.
Okay, 2 million.
But
it's still big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, at that point, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I knew it was big, but like when I saw that number, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But I also don't really take the time to look at different acreage of different bodies of
You should, though.
land and water and shit.
Though. I always do. That's it's been pretty big pastime of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Ever since I was a wee lad, I like to go into farmers' land and guess how many acres they have.
Yeah. Check out the wood.
Yeah. Well, fields. I like fields.
Oh, fields of wood.
Yeah. Fields of wood. What do you harvest? Oh, I harvest wood.
Yeah.
So is it around like around like central Florida and south?
It's more like it's more south of central Florida. Like it's
okay.
like the
like
bottom,
like down at the just the tip, baby.
It's a little. It's the tip and then a little bit above the tip.
Okay.
But it's like below the middle.
It's like herpes.
Yeah.
It's like the tip and a little bit above.
And a little bit of herpes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of herpes.
Something like that. Not too much herpes,
Yeah.
just a little. Like one herpes.
One. We'll call that a herp.
Yeah. Yeah, not plural yet. So I said it covers 2 million acres in South Florida and also contains the largest subtropical wetland in the United States. Another little tidbit about the Florida Everglades is that it has not all been explored. So while many parts of the Everglades, including Everglades National Park, have been studied and documented, vast areas remain largely untouched and unexplored, particularly in the vast wetlands and remote sections. So some of it just can't be explored because it's just so fucking out there and in just the most shittiest, swampiest of lands. Like, you just, like, can't get to it. And there's all kinds of different animals and shit that live out there, too. Like,
Yeah, just like that. It's just so thick with that grass and stuff. You can't even get a boat or anything to it. Alligators.
And the American crocodile, too.
You know, I heard that a while back, and that really surprised me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was such thing as the American crocodile.
No.
You know how you can tell, you know what the biggest difference between an alligator and crocodile is?
Fuck, I know this. Hold on. It's not the, like, see you later, that one.
That's what it is,
Oh,
yeah.
Is it, son of a bitch?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of comparing and contrasting here with the Bigfoot and the skunk ape. So Bigfoot is mainly reported in the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, British Columbia. Skunk ape sightings happen mostly in Florida's swamps in the southeastern United States. So there are some other states surrounding Florida where there has been skunk ape sightings, but Florida is like the granddaddy for the skunk ape. Bigfoot is described as very tall, typically 7 to 10 feet tall, whereas the skunk ape typically ranges about around 7 feet tall. And like I said, the hair color earlier, the skunk ape has like a dark reddish,
like an auburn
brown, yeah, something like that, or like olive colored hair.
Olive.
I saw that too.
Like green olive.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Whoa.
Probably from the swamps.
Camoed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess mud would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then odor, Bigfoot usually isn't associated with any particular smell. I know sometimes in Bigfoot sightings, sometimes people talk about a smell, but typically it's more common with like the skunk ape, with this strong, skunky, nasty ass smell. Which maybe the skunk ape just likes to smoke the old Mary J.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
What if he just prefers to use like skunks as deodorant?
Ooh.
Like he just catches one and just rubs it right on his armpit.
Or I was gonna say maybe he like takes all the fur and shit off of skunks and like makes a coat out of it.
Well, that'd be something.
And then it just turned to this dark reddish brownish shit.
It
like,
just starts
over
to stink, but it's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's what he likes.
Maybe.
Why we gotta mess with people when they like stuff, you know?
I know. It's like Shrek, man. Like, just leave his freaking swamp alone.
Get out of my swamp.
Yeah.
Is the new Shrek movie coming out soon?
Oh, I don't know. There's a new one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Those movies get like more and more inappropriate as they go.
Yeah.
My daughter really liked, I think, like the second or third one, and it's like, dude, we're not watching this anymore. This is like, some of this humor is just, it's a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, even the first one, there's quite a few adult
for sure.
jokes.
Yeah, but the first one I felt like had a little more class about it. Like it was a little more subtle.
A little more, subtle. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All right, where was I? Son of a bitch. Bigfoots typically live in a dense forest and mountainous areas. Skunk apes live in swampy wetlands with lots of humidity. Both are elusive and shy and try to typically avoid humans. Bigfoot sightings are widespread across many U.S. states and Canadian provinces. Skunk ape sightings are mostly limited to Florida and, like I said, nearby states. And Bigfoot is more well-known worldwide and appears in many books, TV shows, movies, whereas the skunk ape is mostly part of regional folklore in Florida. Like, obviously, people have heard of the skunk ape, but if you would just ask, like, the average citizen, like, do you know what the skunk ape is? They're going to be like,
Yeah,
hell
for
no.
sure. But I guess, so I've always had, like, this slight issue when they've talked about the skunk ape, and maybe you'll get into this a little bit, but is a skunk ape is a Bigfoot, though,
Yeah.
right? So it's like all skunk apes are Bigfoots, but not all Bigfoots are skunk apes. Because basically, this is just a Bigfoot that lived in the swamp. That's, like, from the living in the swamp made it become a skunk ape.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that gets confusing, too, because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the Bigfoot of, like, the Pacific Northwest is, like, Sasquatch.
Yeah, you start getting into all the
And then,
names
like,
and stuff. But then up in Alaska, too, it's Sasquatch.
Yeah, like, that is the Pacific Northwest.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Like,
but
up that way.
Yeah. So you're not talking about, like, Washington
Well,
State
like,
and
Washington,
stuff.
Oregon.
Okay, you're talking all the way
and
from
then even,
Washington
yeah,
all the way to
Alaska.
Alaska.
Yeah. Like, I think they're all considered Sasquatch up there.
But then the Yeti comes in somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he's over in,
Like Sweden,
no, what the hell is...
Switzerland,
Oh, God damn it.
the Alps,
Is it the Alps? Might be the Alps.
Italy, France, Jamaica.
No, he's called something else.
Yeah. He's called the big guy, eh?
The big guy. Physical traits both leave large footprints. Some say skunk ape has shorter arms and a thicker body compared to Bigfoot.
I just picture, like, he's more like a roly-poly with these little tiny arms flapping out.
And our guy that we're going to talk about later, Dave Shealy, who I tried to get on the cast. He
Still working on it.
Still
right?
working on it. Yeah. He says he's a skunk. He's a self-proclaimed skunk ape expert, but he says that they have 4 toes compared.
4 toes.
Yeah, compared to the old Sasquatch that has 5. And sounds, both are reported to make howls, screams, wood knocks, and grunts. Skunk apes report sometimes mention unique swamp sounds, and obviously it's foul smell.
Whoa.
I don't know what exactly.
I need to know what a unique swamp smell
I don't
is.
know. I don't know. I guess something that.
Can I tell you what, like, in my mind?
Yeah. What do you?
I feel like it sounds a lot like diarrhea.
Yeah, I was
would
thinking
be like a swamp smell.
I was thinking like them just picking up a log and just like dropping it in the water.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, just dropping a log in the water.
It's like a beaver tail hitting.
Yeah.
You ever been out fishing in the beaver tail? Yeah.
So I'm guessing that would be a unique swamp sound.
I would say so.
All right, we're talking about the origins now.
Orifices.
Like where this thing originated.
Well, see, what happened was a mama skunk ape and a daddy skunk ape decided they were really in love.
Maybe just a bear and a skunk just did the heebie-jeebie.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like a beaver with a skunk watching.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like there's got to be a beaver involved somewhere in there.
So the skunk's not getting banged?
No. But he's spraying all over them.
As they're getting banged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be like a weird orgy situation. I don't know, man. Animals are weird.
Yeah.
Remember, like, do you ever go down the road and you see like roadkill in such a peculiar way that you don't even understand why they were all there at the same time? I remember it was like 3 raccoons and 2 possums, but they're all in this like literally like within 15 foot.
Yeah.
It's like, were the raccoons banging and the possums watching, or were the possums involved? I don't understand.
Just in the middle of the road.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
They like to live on the wild side, folks.
Well, good for them.
You don't want to go out on my roads.
No. That was a possum bang party.
Yeah. All right.
Corey watching.
Stories of the skunk ape date back to Native American tribes such as the Seminole and the Miccosukee, who would often talk about a creature they called Esti Japjaki.
Damn, that's quite the name.
Which translates to furry tall man.
I think it's funny when you translate like stuff from Native American language to like what they were calling Bigfoot. It's always just like hairy person.
Well, this right here, that's how it's spelled, but then it's pronounced that.
So it's spelled Capcaki, but it's pronounced
Japjaki.
Interesting.
So I probably said it wrong, but I don't know Native
But
American.
freaking Corey did his research today.
I did.
He's sick of people calling him out on the way he says stuff.
Yeah, I've been practicing. I might be practicing wrong, but I've been practicing.
Either way, he's trying.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
making a
trying.
solid effort
Yeah, I'm
for you
trying.
people.
So give me those 5-star reviews just for
Yeah.
my effort, please.
Yeah. Please. Seriously, please. If you
Yeah.
like it, please.
Yeah. These tribes were residing in the Florida Everglades for many years prior to the European settlers, and these tribes believe that the skunk ape, this was before he was obviously called the skunk ape, that he was the protector of the land and did not want to see it damaged or destroyed, which is typically what you hear a lot of times with like Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's why I always wonder if there's some kind of spiritual element to Bigfoot.
Yeah. And they believed that he was always watching, especially those that posed a threat to the land. They also believed that he had magical powers that allowed him to vanish in thin air.
Do you believe that to be true?
I don't know.
I think there's almost like a sixth sense to a lot of animals when they know they're being watched. And in that way, they can like figure out ways to slip out of areas that are just like we can't grasp, you know?
Yeah.
I remember a story years ago when my dad was hunting and he had like shot at a deer and he saw this deer drop in this field. Well, they like scoured this whole entire field and it was growing up a little bit. And basically what they could determine through it is this: when this deer dropped down, it like crawled through this field because it knew like up high was bad, down low is good. So it crawled through the field. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's different when you're getting shot at, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like you hear a lot of that stuff about like Bigfoots being like interdimensional or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying like that aspect of it, that they can just disappear.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, unless they are like some type of like spiritual or supernatural like being.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because they would have to be almost like a spirit.
Yeah,
which would be interesting.
like maybe the Bigfoots were like I don't know, maybe they lived on the earth a long time ago, and who knows. And then they died, and then now we're seeing like their spirits or something. I don't know.
What if they were always the spirits, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. What if they were conjured up by Native Americans? I don't know. It's interesting. I could get behind something like that. I need it to be a different reason than like these are apes that can disappear. I just don't buy that aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, now we're going to talk about some stories involving the old skunk ape.
Stories.
So now, like I said, this creature wasn't referred to as the skunk ape until sometime in the 1960s, but many reports prior to that fit his description perfectly. He just wasn't called the skunk ape.
So where was the name skunk ape coined? So like a specific like article or something?
All I saw about like that was just because of like his smell. Like it's a big ape-like creature.
But was there like a newspaper article or something that gave it that name?
I didn't see anything, no. There might be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what I saw is like it just got the skunk ape name just based off of
by
its
locals and
smell.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because of the smell. Okay.
There were some different sightings in the 1800s where this creature basically would be seen stealing people's food when they were camping in the woods. So I saw a couple stories like that back in like the 1800s where like, people be fishing or camping or whatever and they'd see this big hairy son of a bitch just like come up and just take their food.
He's welcome to some, not all.
Yeah. I mean, I know he needs to eat a lot of food.
Yeah, but so do we.
Yeah.
So it's like chill.
That's right. Wait your turn. Another sighting in 1823 involved a fella named David Porter who witnessed the skunk ape while out in the woods.
1893?
1823.
23, okay.
He described it as being bigger than a bear, and when he started firing some shots at it, some shots. So he started firing some shots at it, and it ducked, turned, and disappeared into the trees. And as soon as the creature vanished, a strong skunk-like odor just completely filled the air. And once we get into like the 20th century, the sightings began to increase. So in 1942, I lost myself here. In Suwannee County, east of Tallahassee, A man was driving on a back road when all of a sudden a big hairy creature jumped onto the running board of the car. It began pounding on the windows before jumping off and vanishing into the woods. And this thing apparently stayed on the side of the car for a half mile before jumping off and vanishing.
Just pounding on the car?
Yeah, just like pounding on the car.
Like, I picture like Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But why?
I don't know. That was all it said for the story. It didn't say like why, like what he wanted. Like, did they have a nice little home cooked meal, like leftovers from a party in there he was hungry trying to get? Yeah. I don't know. And then a few years later, I'm guessing it was sometime in like the 1940s as well, in Barden, Florida, which is a little community located in Putnam, Florida, which is about an hour and 20 minutes south of Jacksonville. So we're talking over 5 hours north of the Everglades.
I was gonna say we're starting to really get high in Florida.
So people in this area started seeing this. I mean, like I said, it wasn't called the skunk ape yet, but they started seeing this hairy creature, and the legend became known as the Barden Booger.
The Barden Booger.
Barden Booger. That's what they started calling it.
Only down in South did they just refer to something as a booger.
And it was seen on several occasions. Like this is the skunk ape, though, in this little town referred to as the Barden Booger. The first occasion was when a woman was riding her horse in the woods and thought she saw a tall man in a raincoat
picking his nose.
As she stood there watching this thing, who she thought was a man, she began to notice that it was in fact not a raincoat, but rather thick fur, and the creature that this fur was covering was not human.
Ba ba ba.
And like there's so many stories. Like I probably could have put it like 100 different.
He could have wrote a novel
of just the stories.
Just the stories
of the old skunk ape,
of the flea booger,
the Barden Booger,
the Barden Booger. Flea booger's kind of a cool name.
It is. Flea booger.
I might call one of my kids Flea Booger.
Dave Shealy. So this.
What up, Dave?
This man. This is the guy that I emailed trying to get on the cast. He's the.
He did email us back, so.
He did.
Yeah.
But then I think he listened to the cast and he's like, fuck these guys.
I do think that might have been what happened.
But whatever. We'll still talk nice about him. Maybe. I mean, I will. I don't know. I never know what he's going to say.
I will. Nothing but respect. Because I can edit it all out.
So Dave Shealy is a Florida native, lived there his entire life, born down in the Everglades with his family. But in 1973, he was 10 years old at the time. He was out deer hunting with his brother Jack in the Big Cypress National Preserve, which borders the Everglades National Park. Big Cypress was the first national preserve in the nation's history. It covers nearly 1 million acres of swamp, an area larger than the state of Rhode Island. So this is, quote, what Dave saw when he was 10 years old in the Big Cypress National Preserve. So, quote, "It was walking across the swamp, and my brother spotted it first. But I couldn't see it over the grass. I wasn't tall enough. My brother picked me up, and I saw it about 100 yards away. It looked like a man, but completely covered with hair."
What year was this?
This was in 1973.
Okay.
So this, like, sighting happened a few years after their father found a set of huge unexplained footprints around the same area. So, like, I'm assuming that they hunted this area quite a bit, and they're pretty familiar with it and stuff. And their father found a big old set of footprints around the same area a couple years prior. But now Dave owns and operates the Skunk Ape Research Center in Ochopee, Florida, which actually has the United States smallest post office.
Oh, wow.
Which is
the second smallest is in Portlock, Alaska.
Yeah. This there's a pic. I saw a picture of it. It's 61 square feet.
61 square feet.
Yeah, I couldn't even fit my lawnmower in it. It's a shed.
Why is it there?
I don't know. But there's still, I looked it up, there's still like 400 people that live in the town.
Well, apparently they don't get a lot of mail.
I guess not, but yeah. Freaking 61 square feet. Might be able to keep my push mower in it, but I'm not keeping my riding mower in it.
I couldn't even lay down in that.
Yeah. Because you're a big son of a bitch.
Well, jeez. I just thrash around a lot. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He knocked that building right over. Dave is a big advocate of the skunk ape. And like I said, he's a self-proclaimed skunk ape expert. I mean, he's devoted his entire life to trying to find evidence and prove that this thing exists. Like I said, his family has lived in this area since the 1800s, and he claims to have spent thousands of hours out in the swamps searching for the skunk ape.
That's loud.
That was louder than the beer.
Yeah.
He claims to have had several encounters with the skunk ape over the years and was able to get footage of one in the wild back in 2000.
I just watched that clip on my phone.
Did you? I was going to have you watch it, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
Way to jump ahead.
Popped up. Yeah.
So the one argument that Dave has with this clip is that the area that he was filming is swampland. And he claims that no man would be able to move through the area like this creature in the video does. And I was reading other people's comments on this video, and like a lot of people that have, lived in areas around these swamps, I mean, they've said the same thing, like just nobody can move that fast in the swamplands. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've been seeing, what people are saying. Because like if somebody's wearing a suit, like them moving that quick in a couple feet swamp water, I don't know. Like that's just like the argument for it being legitimate.
Yeah.
Some of the skeptics point out that the figure in the video moves too much like a human would.
Yeah.
Like with the arm movements and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it's a pimp walk.
Yeah.
Like that's what it reminds me of, like just that good strut of a pimp walk.
Yeah.
And I get that there's a lot of crazy terrain and stuff down there, so I'm not doubting it, but we don't specifically know the exact, like this could have been like a drought year.
Yeah.
We don't know any of that stuff.
No, yeah, and it could have been taken like on the ground next to the swamp. Like this person, like you know what I mean? Like we don't know like those details.
And I'm not saying that he made up evidence. But two, I never understand when you have footage like this, why does it only last 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. If I finally got the skunk ape, like what I've been chasing for my whole life, I'm chasing that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm trying to, you know. Like once he goes, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Just keep going, but it always cuts off after this, and
it's always like somebody has Parkinson's.
Yeah. I mean the video of this one's pretty good and clear.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
But it was just like we were talking to Beans about Patty, that clip that's only like it just so happens it's at the very end of a roll of footage, and it's just like, of course it is, of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what if like maybe the dude, like maybe like a lot of the evidence that people think are real, like what if it was just some prankster out there that just goes out in like common areas dressed up as fucking Bigfoot?
Could be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where like you have no idea.
Yeah.
You're just out there and like you see some jackass running around
right.
like in a Bigfoot costume.
It'd be something I would do.
Yeah. You get shot.
Yeah. I could take a bullet.
Yeah. Make sure you're wearing your bulletproof vest.
Yeah, I'm a bulletproof cup, I guess.
For your
beer.
Steel nuts.
Oh. I don't need it for my steel nuts.
I guess
I need that. No, but yeah, I don't know. I just that's always been kind of my issue with a lot of the footage that's found is it's so short.
Yeah.
Did you see the new footage of I think it was where was it? Like Wyoming or something, where some guys they rolled like a big rock down a hill to be fun, so they're filming the rock going down, and you can see a Bigfoot like kind of like take off through the woods down at the bottom.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Huh.
That'd be a good one for us to dissect.
I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's the video. I mean people can watch it if they just type in Dave Shealy 2000 Bigfoot.
Yeah, if you
Sighting.
type in Dave Shealy skunk ape, it's pretty
Yeah.
much like it comes
right
up
there.
immediately. Yeah.
So if you guys want to watch it and let us know what you think, you know, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just pointing out. I mean, we're just pointing out what we see.
Yeah, I'm
what
not.
it
I'm
looks
not
like,
saying
yeah.
I don't believe it. I'm just trying to. I just always feel
Yeah.
like in these situations, I try and play devil's advocate.
Absolutely. So then other reports in the 1970s, there were
70s.
yeah, this was
Sorry.
that was in the 70s too.
Yeah.
Well,
the
his-
video was in 2000.
Yeah, the video was 2000.
Yeah.
But
2000.
I was still on Dave Shealy, just
Yeah.
kind of going over some of Dave's stuff.
It's kind of crazy to think that it was almost 30 years from the time of like some of his first encounters with the skunk ape.
Yeah.
So I finally got
Yeah,
footage of the skunk ape.
yeah.
Did he
So-
say he has like a skunk ape store?
He has like a whole research center.
Research center, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, if somebody is going to find hard evidence on a skunk
Yeah.
ape, it's going to be a dude with a research
Dude,
center.
he's got
I
a
would
whole
think.
research center. Like, it's a whole freaking big thing. Like, he is the skunk ape guy.
Is this government funded?
I don't know. I don't
No.
know about that. Probably not.
You know the Bigfoot in China?
We're actually going to tie in the government with the skunk ape here in a little bit, though.
Government experience.
No.
I was going to say, son of a bitch. Government experience. Shit, I did it again. No. Government experiment.
Yeah.
Shit. Did you know that? I don't know if I talked about this before, but the Chinese government, they had like a Bigfoot over there, and I can't remember what they call it over there, but the government was actually like funding,
I think you talked about that
like
before,
legitimately funding and sending troops out to find this thing. I don't know what for. I don't know. But they think it can be like used for war or something. I don't really know,
Yeah.
but
So then some other reports in the 1970s. So we're going back to the 70s. That video was
70s,
2000.
2000,
We're going back to the 70s.
70s.
When Dave first saw the skunk ape when
When he
he's
first saw it, he said,
10-year-old
"Son of a
boy.
bitch, when I'm 30 years old, I'm gonna have a research center."
40.
Well, in 30 years,
Whatever.
whatever. Shut up, Corey. Just read your little thingy.
There were two Palm Beach County Sheriff deputies, Malvin Lewis and Ernie Milner, who reported seeing an ape-like creature that was tall and hairy. They said it stalked them through a grove before they took out their guns and began blasting.
It's like Frank.
Yeah.
I just started blasting.
Yeah. They followed the creature's footprints and found hair that was stuck on a barbed wire fence that had been pushed down like something stepped on it. And that was theirs. So a lot of these stories
Why are
have
they
like
just walking around a grove?
yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. A lot of these stories are just like they have like it's just that's what they are. But I think this is kind of interesting. So like there was a lot of sightings and encounters like in the 1970s in and around the Florida Everglades, which I'm gonna go kind of over why, but also in the 70s, several witnesses reported seeing a large hairy creature that sometimes reacted aggressively when approached. One story tells of a man fishing who said the creature stomped nearby and threw sticks towards them before disappearing into the trees.
Hell yeah. He's probably trying to get him a new fishing pole.
He was probably just trying to catch fish on his own, and
Yeah.
these stupid people were
Uh-huh.
spooking all the fish.
So can I make a guess as to why the rise in the 70s of sightings?
Sure.
Was there like development in the Everglades at that time?
Yeah,
Yes.
there was. So yeah, during this time, Florida was rapidly developing, and that expansion had a big impact on the Everglades and other remote swamp areas. Many believe the skunk ape would need to hide in order to survive. So the skunk apes and like other animals, they believe, were kind of just dispersing and running all over the place, and that's why a lot of people were seeing them as they were trying to kind of retreat to like the Everglades. So like I said, there was the rapid development in this region. There was a loss of habitat. Something like the skunk ape does exist. It's likely dependent on large undeveloped areas to stay hidden. So obviously, as the land was cleared for housing and roads, the creature would have had fewer places to go. Some researchers and folklorists.
Folklorist?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. These
Yeah.
are my kind of people.
I know.
Why have we not met more of these folklorists?
I don't know.
That's what it's called.
We should be folklorists.
You're freaking right. We are.
I guess we are, yeah.
Damn it.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed urban legist.
Yeah.
So you think?
Hell
Think that worked? I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried to sell it, but I don't. The more I think about it, I'm not sure if the urban legist worked.
Yeah, it fits us because it sounds stupid.
This is true.
Yeah. So some researchers and folklorists think this could have pushed these animals closer to humans, increasing the chances of sightings.
Which would make sense. I think we just talked about this in the Charman episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And also during the 70s, there was a rise in environmental consciousness, and people were more aware of how humans were affecting nature. At the same time, cryptozoology was booming in pop culture. You got Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, UFOs were all over TV and magazines. This helped fuel public interest in the skunk ape and likely made people more willing to report strange encounters and just made them, see things that might not have been there just because it was on their minds.
Well, the first time in history you kind of started having, say, access to be able to do stuff like this, like to spread your word quickly.
Yeah.
With the rise in like telephones and stuff like that, where you think like, 200 years ago, if Corey saw the skunk ape, were you going to write a letter to somebody, know?
Yeah.
So now with the internet, we should have found like 7 Bigfoots by now.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Maybe 8.
Now we're going to dig into the 1990s.
Get a shovel. We're digging.
So this website that I found some stuff on here is it's from Southern SouthernStyleSweeties.com, titled "The Skunk Ape at Myakka River State Park: A Haunting Encounter." Which I think this one's kind of cool. Sometime in the 1990s, a couple was driving on a back road in a remote area of Myakka River State Park. The couple reports that as they were driving, they witnessed a creature come out of the swampy underbrush and sprint across the road in front of their car. The couple slammed on the brakes and watched as the creature stopped for a quick second, stared at them with glowing red eyes.
Oh, no.
Before vanishing in the trees, while leaving behind a lingering odor. They reported that whatever this creature was, it didn't look like it was scared or frightened of them in the car. They described it more as it being almost deliberate for what it did and planned.
Like it wanted them to see it.
Yeah, and that this creature purposely ran across the road to make its presence known. Like some sort of like scare tactic.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That was just the vibe they got from like when it made eye contact with them. It was just like,
what were these two going to do?
Probably do some parking.
Exactly. That's kind of what I wonder. This could be a parking spirit. This could be like Hookman's.
Yeah, could
like,
be.
Partner in crime. Like Hookman will be like, I got the rest of the United States. You take Florida.
Yeah.
it's like kind of doofus of a cousin. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, Hookman's like, I got everything south, but north of Florida.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up. Like the Myakka River State Park and the Everglades are relatively close, but they're not adjacent to each other. The Myakka River State Park in Sarasota is about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours from the Everglades National Park, which is like the west side of Florida, just below St. Petersburg.
St. Pete?
And in regards to the Myakka River State Park, the dense canopy blocks out starlight, making it basically pitch black on the ground at night. And the dark swamps and areas would provide a perfect habitat for this type of creature. Hikers and campers in this area reported hearing strange noises, high-pitched whoops, branches cracking, and some report feeling that something is watching them from the shadows or they are being followed.
Yeah, I don't know. When you're in the Everglades, though, you got crocodiles, alligators, snakes.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about some of
turtles. Turtles, dude, they're a huge problem down there.
Yeah.
Man-eating turtles. Teenage Mutant.
Turtle Man.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office received 2 anonymous photos that are supposedly of the skunk ape. There was a handwritten note that said, so they just received this like letter or this, this envelope with pictures and like a handwritten note. And it said, enclosed, please find some pictures I took. My husband thinks it is an orangutan. Is someone missing an orangutan? Why haven't people been told that an animal this size is loose? Please look after this situation. I don't want my backyard to turn into someone else's circus. They also noted, it had an awful smell that lasted well after it left my yard. And
what year is this?
You can see, I don't have it on here, but you can see those pictures. We'll look them up then.
Okay. Well, like, how do you not know what a skunk ape is when you live down here?
Yeah.
You'd never heard
that was
of
the early
skunk ape.
That was the early 2000s as well.
Yeah, so it's like, come on. I'll see if I can look them up.
Yeah, look
later.
it up. It was.
Yeah, dude, this picture is just, it's, I don't even know. How would you describe this picture? It looks like, I don't know, it looks like somebody in the most half-assed orangutan costume you could think of. It's not a great picture.
Did you ever watch the We Sing videos when you were little?
We Sing, no.
We Sing.
Weezing, the Pokemon?
No.
Oh.
No, We Sing. But it was like a kids, they had like movies and shit. But I remember there was this one episode where there was these like 2 people that were in these big ass like, I guess they were like bears, like these big bear costumes. But like it reminds me of that.
I'm not buying these pictures.
Yeah,
these pictures are like all over the internet. So go check them out. Just
if you type in skunk ape pictures like
that's what comes up immediately. Because
Yeah.
I like showed Corey. It's like, is this what the picture they're talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We'll put it on our Facebook this week. So if you want to see it and you can't find it, go check us out on Facebook and give us a follow.
Yeah.
Because we're super active over there, and we'll talk to you.
We will.
Yeah.
I could even get TP Aaron on there, and he can sing you a little song or something.
Dude, you remember when we had that lady message us about a Ouija board?
Yeah.
So I was at like a couple of our friends were hanging out together, and I said to Corey, it's like, hey, somebody messaged us on our Facebook, so we both have access to the Facebook. When I got out of that party or whatever, there was like 98, and I'm not even joking, 98 messages between them. So I text Corey, it's like, how was that? He's like, dude, she wouldn't stop. She just kept going.
Yeah.
And it was like not even talking about anything, but she just kept going, just kept talking.
Yeah. It was quite wild.
And that's the kind of respect we show for our followers. So come make sure to follow us on Facebook.
Yeah. We will not talk shit about it.
Yeah, we won't. We didn't use her name.
Yeah.
Linda. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what her name
Mary.
was.
No, I don't know what it was either.
Probably is Linda would be my luck too.
All right, there's one other incident or encounter I have on here of a 2000s camper report. So a camper in a remote Florida swamp reported waking up at night to loud crashing sounds near their tent. When they turned on their flashlight towards the noise, they saw a large dark figure staring at them. The camper said the creature let out a loud growl and then charged briefly at them before retreating into the shadows. So they're kind of like the stories and shit that I got about the skunk ape.
Yeah.
But like all of them, I mean, they're all like similar. Like you don't really get any. It's just like, you know, this happened and then it ran away.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
it threw some sticks at me.
They're also quick.
Yeah.
Like they're super quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, there's so many stories out there like the ones that I presented.
Yeah.
I thought this was interesting. So in 1978, the Florida legislature considered a bill that implicitly acknowledged the existence of the skunk ape. So State Representative Hugh Paul Knuckles.
He sound like, dude, he freaking throw down, I
Dude,
bet.
he sounds like a skunk ape.
Dude, he sounds like a skunk ape, but he also sounds like a 1920s boxer. So he's
Yeah.
going to do that hands in front of the
Yeah.
face like that.
Hugh Paul Knuckles.
Or like a Vince McMahon wrestler.
Yeah,
I could see him pushing Hugh Paul.
Hugh Paul
Yeah.
Knuckles.
Yeah.
So this state representative introduced House Bill 58, known as the Florida Skunk Ape Protection Act. This bill aimed to make it a misdemeanor to take, possess, harm, or molest any anthropoid. That's right.
I don't know.
Anthropoid, yeah. Or humanoid animal which is native to Florida, popularly known as the skunk ape.
Listen, if that dude's giving me the eyes, though,
You gonna molest him?
I might.
Could
I
be
just might.
skunk ape girl.
Could be. I'm just saying. I don't understand why we're not allowed to bang a Bigfoot.
Because they don't want any of that. What's that going to create?
Listen,
a big mic and a Bigfoot.
Have you met the people of Florida? Have you seen the articles that come across the Florida man
Eats the face off of Florida man.
We could use a Pennsylvania man down there spreading his DNA with a skunk ape. It would probably up the population, help everybody out.
We need to spread some of them Pennsylvania seeds in Florida.
Yeah.
Because, because everybody from Pennsylvania that are living in Florida are all over the age of like 80, so they ain't spreading their seeds anymore.
No, but dude, the STDs are running rampant there.
In Florida.
Yeah, with those old people. Did you ever see how they like hang the stuff off of their golf carts if they're
I thought you were
like, willing to bang and stuff like that?
I thought you were going to say like hang the stuff off of like their nuts.
They could.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of stuff you look at.
What are they hanging, like pineapples and shit?
Could be.
Cowboy hats? I'm talking about off their golf cart.
They hang like some kind of, like, I don't know, different stuff off like the mirrors of their golf cart, and it symbolizes like if they're like DTF.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't, and it's old people.
Yeah.
Like it's not like just freshly retired people. It's like freaking 80-year-old people with
Ancient.
probably gonorrhea. Not judging.
Yeah.
Just saying, go live your life, girl. Good for you. You 80. You got gonorrhea.
Or guy.
Does it hurt when you pee? Who cares? Good for you.
Just let it be.
Yeah. Hurts when I pee sometimes. Anyways.
Hurts when you pee, just let it be.
Yeah, what else you got?
So this bill did not pass.
What bullshit. What kind of bullshit representatives you got down there in Florida?
But its introduction sparked discussions within the legislature. One representative expressed concern that if the creature existed, it might face threats from overexposure and human interference, potentially leading to its extinction.
Another representative said, "This is bullshit, then I won't be able to have sex with my wife." So wrap your head around that one, folks.
Hell yeah.
His name? Skunk Ape Kramer.
Theories.
Here we go. Here's some theories.
So what's your theory?
With the skunk ape?
Yeah.
I feel like I could go one of two theories. One theory would be that obviously it could be some kind of Bigfoot form. Maybe not, I don't know. I don't want to go too many theories. I would say it'd be some kind of
not gonna go
Bigfoot.
too many theories.
Yeah, because
we don't got time.
I do have three theories going around in my head, but I don't want to take it. The second theory I would say was just like an unidentified bear in the area.
Yeah.
Also, I do gotta throw my third, like a spiritual elemental out there.
Yeah.
So close to like Tallahassee and stuff like that, where the Seminole tribe dwelled. What do you got?
I like it.
What do you got for theories?
So I think that all the remote, unexplored areas like of the swamplands in Florida could be the perfect location for the skunk ape. Just like The Pacific Northwest is for Sasquatch, which I think is a good correlation when looking at the two different creatures and the different areas.
Different creatures, but not.
Yeah, different
More or
creatures, but
less.
not.
Yeah.
Yep. So I thought that was kind of interesting, just looking at the two and the areas that they live. Like, they live in different areas, but like if you look at some of the comparisons, it's like, okay, like that makes sense.
It reminded me a lot, like, because I hunt and stuff, it reminded me a lot of, like, deer and stuff like that. You get deer in different areas, and there is different qualities. Like, they'll be smaller, their mating season will be different and stuff like that. But at the same time, you still have, like, all these deer qualities.
Yeah. And the other one I have is just it being, like, mistaken for another animal. And if you're looking at Florida, they have quite a few different species, like different. They have a lot of animals living in Florida.
The American crocodile lives down there.
Yeah.
Sturgeon.
Sturgeon.
Sturgeon get blamed for everything.
They do this.
As they should. When you look at
Yeah.
them sons of bitches, they should get
They've been
blamed
around
for everything.
forever, so
Yeah.
that's why. The Florida black bear is
Black
the most
bear?
likely candidate for mistaken identity. They can grow over 6 feet tall, like when standing upright, and may appear bulky and dark-haired. And if they were wallowing in the swamps or the garbage, they might have a foul odor that comes with them. And then obviously with bear sightings near campsites, homes, are going to be more common due to like the food and garbage and stuff like that, and them looking for stuff to eat. So like obviously that's where they're going to be, near the people. There's also some people said about like escaped monkeys.
Oh, yeah,
being,
I
like,
guess. Like
being
government escape monkeys or just escape monkeys?
yeah
There was a lot of circuses and freak show type things back in this
yeah.
area of the world back then.
And it said, like, what I saw was like occasionally people have owned pet chimpanzees or other exotic primates that they might not be able to take care of anymore, so they just let go.
Isn't that how the whole like python outbreak down there kind of started?
Yeah.
So,
Or even like up in Pennsylvania here, like you'll see like the occasional alligator story and stuff, because people will get like a pet alligator and
Yeah.
then they can't take care of it anymore, so they let it go in the river or wherever, a creek.
I saw a weasel the other day.
A weasel
Yeah.
in the wild.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Freaking thing looked dude, awesome.
I don't know if I ever saw a fucking weasel in the wild.
Dude, I saw it like 6 times. It just kept running across this road. It would run to the one side of the road.
Was it trying to like commit suicide?
No, it was like, because it was like a back road, so it was going from like culvert to culvert where there's like kind of like water and stuff. Every time it would come back the other way, it would have a frog in its mouth.
Really?
Yeah. So
Damn.
it's like, dude was eating good.
Damn. But there's also the Florida panther.
Is the Florida panther a real thing?
Yeah.
So the Florida panther's a real thing, not the Florida black panther. Like a black panther, is that a real thing?
I don't, not in Florida, I don't think.
Okay.
Because the Florida panther is more like a orangish, tannish.
I
type
heard
of
it's kind of
color.
like a hockey team too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those some bitches actually get pretty big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they get a couple 100 pounds. Like
Oh, damn. Yeah.
they get,
Kind of like a mountain lion.
yeah, like they get big. But like what I saw was that they're pretty rare. Like people don't typically see them.
Yeah.
But
Maybe like a bobcat around us.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a bobcat.
Saw one time.
Yeah.
I saw a weasel the other day though.
You ever see a porcupine?
Yeah, dude, I did.
saw like one.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was a skunk. We were like walking through this right away at work, like way back in the woods, and just when you see something that size in the woods, the skunk's what first comes to my
Yeah.
mind. So I'm more scared of a skunk than a porcupine, because they'll just kind of mind their own business,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And also we got alligators. We got the American crocodile, USA. Feral hogs, wild boars.
I could see a big boar too.
Yeah. Those some bitches are probably stinky.
Yeah, and I bet they walk on 2 legs.
Yeah.
Hogzilla.
Yeah.
Is there a hog man down there by chance?
We could make one.
Man, if there's a hog man, I'll research the shit out of that.
Dude, type in hog man. There might be a hog man
Right.
somewhere. Son of a bitch.
Man, Oh wait, I did the pig man in Vermont. So I kind of already did this.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind.
already did the hog
Yeah.
man.
Never mind.
And then obviously just like hoaxes, people dressed up in costumes. I mean, I like undiscovered primate. I like kind of like that one. I think you said that one, like an undiscovered primate or animal.
I didn't, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. What'd you say though? You
For my theories,
I thought you said like an undiscovered something.
I said misidentified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bear is what comes to my mind right away.
Yeah. I think I like unidentified or undiscovered primate.
Yeah, they could see that.
That'd be cool.
It would be really cool.
And then you got the stupid like the alien creature, not stupid, but
It's
like
not stupid.
I know,
Corey. That could really be a thing.
alien creature,
Yeah,
government
Not
experiment,
stupid.
paranormal, interdimensional being. So you got all that stuff typical with the Bigfoot community.
I'm always game for a government experiment. Shit.
Experience.
Oh, I'm so done with this. I'm never saying this again.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I got for the old skunky.
That's it. So we on to
Folklore score.
Folklore
yeah,
score.
I mean, we're gonna do the folk. I guess we'll just do it for all the different types of Bigfoots.
Ooh, folklore score.
Get it. All right, we're back.
That's right. We're back. Folklore score time. If this is the first time you're with us, where the hell you been at? Seriously.
Yeah, jump on board.
Jump on board. We have a lot of fun here every week. Every week for an entire year. After that, we're going to reevaluate our life to see if we're going to do it another year. But it's looking good so far.
Yeah.
Just saying. We're in June. So if you don't know anything about the folklore scoreboard, we have a folklore score top 10. And basically we have 5 categories we break everything down in. You can get a possible score of 1 to 10. So each of us can score a 50. We add our scores together, and that puts it in a folklore tier. But also, if it cracks that top 10, which the score to beat right now is 60.
That fucking board is pissing me off. I'm about to smash the shit.
Yeah, we won. We want so bad. So bad to add a name to this board. And tonight, I don't think it's happening, but it could happen. But 60 is the score to beat, so we add our scores up to see if they can make the folklore scoreboard. So we'll do our big unveil, because we do them in secret. That's right, secret.
We do. We don't talk about this shit. This ain't rigged.
Yeah.
This ain't
No.
I don't know. What's a rigged show out there? Hogan Knows Best.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Them people know what the words are before they
And
go
they know
up
what
there.
that shit's going to land on when they spin the wheel.
You're freaking right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
24.
My guess is Corey got a 24.
I saw you look at the. You son of a bitch. I saw you.
I got a 20.
Okay.
Which puts that at 44.
Don't even say it.
Which will actually make this our very first 40 on the cast. I don't know. That's like our 12th 40 at least.
Like 18th, 40.
Yeah, 18th.
Yeah, 18th.
All right, so we'll break down these categories quick for you guys. At number 1, we got spookiness. I gave it a 3.
I gave her a 4.
So we're pretty much same page there. For historical and cultural significance, I give it a 5.
I gave it a 6.
All right. For believability, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5.
For uniqueness, I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 5.
And for threat level, I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 4.
Yeah, so I think
We were pretty
yeah,
close.
more or less we were pretty much right on par with each other. I think this thing, I guess the uniqueness, it just reminds me of a Bigfoot, and a Bigfoot is unique. But
Or
when you
Sasquatch.
look at the like grand scheme of things, I guess a Bigfoot isn't as unique. It's a bipedal cryptid with maybe glowing red eyes. I don't know. Some stories. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's just a lot of these type of like creatures if you look at
There
all
are.
the different areas around the world.
Yeah, it seems like every place has their own Bigfoot
They do.
lore.
They
Which
do.
is super cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of what makes Bigfoot just badass on his own.
But, you know, the United States Bigfoots are the best.
Yeah.
I said it here, folks.
You said it here, folks. I think the ones in Taiwan are the best.
I think South Korea. Or no, North Korea.
North Korea, you son of a bitch. Why would
Yeah.
you go there? You know? All right. Hey, maybe we'll be trending in North Korea next week. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Or we'll be dead.
Yeah. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm Mike.
Mike's dumb.
We're not even there. Hold on. You're already going to turn it off. Follow us on Facebook. We got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Give us a follow on those. And with that, I'm out of here. Corey's stupid. He's so stupid he was going to turn the stupid thing off. Way too stupid.